What's going on, everyone? So Austin Reaves looked very impressive. In my opinion, it might have been his best game of his career, given the entire package, right? The rebounding, the playmaking, constantly in control, being in attack mode, finding his spots all over the floor, right? He really put together a very impressive game. I know a lot of people think I'm this Reaves hater because I talk about how he's inconsistent and, I don't believe he's the third guy on a championship contender, and I think he's not a superstar, he's just a role player, but I always give him credit when credit is due, and this is a game that he really deserves credit on. You've seen, and I've talked about and highlighted, right? Rui Hachimura had a really good game. Whenever LeBron misses games, guys usually play better and elevate. We're not better without LeBron or anything like that, but you see, like, Rui gets to play his natural position, he gets to be more aggressive, he gets kind of more shots in selection, right? Same thing with Austin Reaves. He's got to be more in attack mode, he's got to be more just aggressive and getting to his spots and hitting his shots. I've also talked about watch Austin Reaves when his shot is falling. Last night, his shot was falling. Hit his first three of the game. And it just completely changes everything for him. He's more confident. It's easier for him to get to his spots and attack the closeouts and be aggressive rather than when watch the games when he's like 1 of 7 from 3, right? It just makes things a lot more difficult because now teams know they kind of sag off a little bit because they know that, like, hey, he not hitting threes. He wants to kind of, foul bait or whatever you want to call it and kind of get into the teeth of the defense. This game, in my opinion, highlighted a lot of what I've talked about with Austin Reaves in the sense of having him be the 2 guard. I know he had 16 assists, and I already see the people, he's the point guard, you don't need a point. You need a point guard. I like Austin Reaves. He is a 2 guard. Him as your secondary playmaker is excellent, right? Guy that can go and make secondary plays, be the swing man. But we've seen when he is the primary point guard, not against Sacramento, who is terrible defensively. Look at, great example, a team like Detroit, who is physical, athletic, right? Great example in this Kings game. Keon Ellis started guarding him, and he had to start getting the ball out of his hands till he got to midcourt. There was that play where Keon Ellis just basically bodied him and picked his pocket and ran the other way. During the regular season, I'm not as worried about Austin Reaves. But come playoff time, when you're going up against an OKC, and they have a Lou Dort, and they have an Alex Caruso who's going to pick him up possession after possession after possession, 94 feet down, I don't really like him as your as your primary playmaker. I like him as your secondary playmaker, right? Austin Reaves also as the 2 guard, which, by the way, that's what he was when we went to the conference finals, right? He wasn't the primary playmaker. He wasn't the point guard. He was the shooting guard, and he got to be aggressive. When he plays and slots in at the 2, he doesn't have to worry about anything else. He can just focus. He can make plays. He's not a playmaker. There is a difference. Chris Paul, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Isaiah Thomas, like these guys, they were playmakers. A lot of guys can make plays. A lot of guys get you double digit and, assists on a given night or, dish out 5 a night or whatever, right? Like Brandon Ingram, go get you 5 assists a game. No one looks at him as a playmaker. He's a guy that can make plays for himself and make plays for others. Austin Reaves is a guy that can make plays and create for himself and others. But he's not a guy that, is surveying the court constantly and seeing everything that develops and making plays before they actually develop, right? Like, he's a guy that, again, in the moment can run the pick and roll. Dalton Connect, backdoors, boom, easy bounce pass, lob to Anthony Davis, drive, get into the teeth of the defense. The defense collapses, boom, easy kick out. He can run the basics and essentials. But we've seen when he has to kind of just be the main playmaker at times, he'll get kind of indecisive because he's trying to balance the 2 out. Or he'll get tunnel vision, and then other guys kind of get left out. I've seen a lot of people complain about Austin Reaves not passing to Dalton Connect and how people are like, oh, he must be jealous or what. It's not that. It's that he's trying to find that balance, but he's not really a true playmaker, right? He is best when he is being aggressive, getting downhill, foul baiting or whatever you want to call it, getting to the teeth of the defense and being able to find his shot and kind of hunt the matchups that he needs, right? When you allow him to do that, like this game, for example, he wasn't out there trying to be the playmaker, right? He wasn't out there trying to be Magic Johnson. He was out there being aggressive and then giving or taking what the defense gives him, right? When they collapse, boom, here's the outlet pass to Rui, knockdown, splash, outlook pass to Dalton Connect, boom, splash, right? Him, Anthony Davis operating that two-man game, right? Like these were the things because he was aggressive, right? He was operating more as like the primary scoring option rather than the playmaker scoring option, right? Which is why I really do think that the Lakers need to go trade for, a Bruce Brown or a Malcolm Brogdon or some type of 3-and-D style point guard that can bring the ball up and initiate, allow Austin Reaves to play as your two guard and be in attack mode, be aggressive. And then, Max Christie, who has been great and been fantastic on both sides of the basketball. But I'd like a little more experience, particularly come playoff time. And look, I have been as high on Max Christie as anyone has been. Even when he was missing, when he basically fell out of the rotation for, 3 or 4 games, whatever it was, I was over here screaming like, no, you have to stick with him and all that stuff. Talked about how I've overhyped Max Christie, all right? If we're being honest, I've overhyped Max Christie. But it's because I do have so much belief in him. He's 21 years old. I mean, he's 3 years younger or 2.5 years younger than our draft pick this year in Dalton Connect. Let him come off the bench and be that kind of 3-and-D guard Wayne off the bench for the Lakers. Go get some experience out there. Like I said, Bruce Brown, you got to wait to see if he looks good when he comes back. But somebody like him would be ideal. A Malcolm Brogdon, although the injury history is a little concerning. But the point is, can you get a big physical kind of guard that can defend multiple positions, be that point of attack, but be that off-ball 3-and-D style guard. So that way Austin Reaves can still operate in that two-guard aggressive scorer role, right? That's what you need him to be if you're going to go that route. I still think and have my concerns about him being your third option. However, if you have the proper pieces, right? If you can go get, whether it's another center or, like if you go like a Valanciunas and a Bruce Brown, right? Okay, now collectively, I think you have enough to where Austin Reaves could potentially thrive. Or if you go get kind of that, that Cam Johnson and, a Bruce Brown or a Malcolm Brogdon or whatever, right? Now Austin Reaves, again, you got the 3-and-D win. You basically got the complementary pieces, but the high enough ceiling to where Austin Reaves kind of balance out with the greatness of LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think you'd be in good shape, especially if Austin Reaves can now play the best role for him, which is that aggressive two guard. That's where he needs to be. And I just think that this is another game that highlights that. I've talked about this. I've been critical of Austin Reaves and have talked about how I don't believe him as a point guard, right? And we've seen time and time again, he doesn't handle ball pressure well, right? That's not changing. You even saw it a little bit in the Sacramento game, right? You need to get a real kind of primary playmaker. And this style of offense, you don't need that Chris Paul. The offense in which JG's is not trying, but is running, right? You don't need that heavy ball dominant wheel and deal style playmaker. You just need somebody that can initiate the offense and start getting you into your actions. If you can do that, you're fine, right? Which is why they're operating Austin Reaves as that point guard position, because they know that he can initiate and kind of get you into your actions. But I like him better as that secondary playmaker, swing man type guy. I just think what's going to ultimately end up happening is come playoff time, LeBron James is going to end up defaulting to the point guard, and he's going to have the ball in his hands, and he's going to do what he does, which is kill 20 of the 24 seconds on the shot clock. And I just don't think that that's the best style of play for us, given LeBron and his age. And where's that? He's still incredible. He's still a fantastic player, but he's not the control, dictate, and just go get you whatever I want whenever I want it type LeBron James, right? He has the lowest usage rate that he's had of his career, all of that. I think that needs to maintain. They need to play within the scheme of the team and the offense. And I think if you can get that initiator to where you don't have to default to LeBron James. And I'm not even necessarily, I mean, I would love a DeJounte Murray or something like that, but I'm not even saying you need to get something necessarily like that. Just somebody that can handle the ball pressure come playoff time, get you into your actions, allow Austin Reaves to be aggressive and hunt down these matchups game in and game out, but also provide that point of attack defense. So now Austin Reaves isn't your primary defensive player, right? Like, and then kind of round out the roster in whichever way, shape, or form that they end up doing. I think that's the best course of action for the Lakers, right? Something that I've talked about, something that I highlight, and I thought that this game was a perfect example of everything that I've talked about and stressed with Austin Reaves and the kind of role that he really needs to play. And again, look no further than, guess what? The season in which he had his emergence. When did he have his emergence? Oh, when LeBron James was hurt. Why? Because he got to be aggressive. He got to be that bucket getter, that scorer, right? Come playoff time, right? He wasn't operating as the point guard. He was the two guard who got to be aggressive and got to score and get to his spots. The last 2 seasons now, they've been trying to make Austin Reaves the primary playmaker and point guard, and it's caused these inconsistencies and struggles. I think if he gets back to being the two guard, one, I think that there's the potential that he'll get back to being more consistent. I think he'll get back to being a better version of himself, right? Because, again, every time we see him allowed to be aggressive, right, and he doesn't have to try to balance stuff, he delivers, right? You've had 2 games where he's gotten to be aggressive and been kind of the guy in a lot of ways, and he's delivered on the point total, assists, playmaking, rebounding, all of it, right? Allow him to do that game in and game out by going and getting a proper point guard that can initiate, and then he plays the 2. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.